I'd served our current president. I tell you some of the things, like one time, what made me feel like, he did something. I was like, I may not be able to say it now. But what I'm trying to say is, venye wako huko ndani.
Alifanya nini?
My goodness, I'll get stones thrown at me.
Iko nini, ikiwa ni a Sunday chef special, yani tumewapikia kitu moja freshi on a Sunday. Kuzee, leo nataka to go old school kiasi na tubongejia traditional female roles if they still exist. Na pia tubongejia the hospitality industry na story na kupika. So nimeamua kukuletea like someone who has expertise in that area. Na jina yake ni Ursula. That's
yes,
your name?
It is, yes.
Yeah. So me jina, like for a very long time, the way I pronounced it was Asala, because there's this poet who poet wagana pia on the Roots albums kwa mafans wa the Roots najua mnamjua, so kumbe anaitwa Ursula Raka, so I used to know her as Asala Raka. She's really good.
Really?
Yeah, so you need to listen to some Roots albums. Have you listened to by Roots? I mean the Roots, not reggae music. The Roots, the hip hop band. Do you know them?
I do not, unless gospel hip hop, well and good.
Yeah, okay.
I don't listen to anything else, I don't think.
Okay, if you listen to gospel, you're in the right place.
I hope so.
Oh, damn. See, leo ni Sunday, wacha tuacheza ovyo. So, nataka tuongeje vitu kadhaa. So, when ni chef ama when ni cook?
I'm a chef.
Is there a difference?
There's a difference between a chef and a cook because a cook is not someone who's gone to school to learn. They've learned in the job. And so when it comes to being a chef, you have to actually go to practice for that, learn how to cook, to plate, to serve, and to present. So when you have that, then you qualify to be a chef.
Oh,
yes.
So anybody can be a cook, but not everybody can be a chef.
Oh, yes. Anybody can be a cook, but not everybody can be a chef. So true.
So Linda, ulisomea chefing wapi?
I started from RTI, Release Training Institute in South Bay. I started with my certificates. And then after that, I got into the work industry and it took me away. And then I got an opportunity. There's a place we worked and we were being given an offer to go back to school to do a crash program. So I went to Italy.
So mtu amuaje nataka kuwa chef, like that's my career path. Because for men, I think I understand. But for women, the fact that cooking is just something that you do on a normal Monday, Tuesday, how do you end up wanting to be a chef?
I may say it wasn't personally my decision, although I came to love it in the process. This was my dad's doing.
Okay.
And I gave him all my heart to that because I think back in school, at some point I was a health prefect and I wanted to be a nurse. But me and bio kidogo tulikuwa tuna hit heads, yani, haiko inaingia. And then I swapped, and since I was good in languages, not Kiswahili, I was good in English and French. So I wanted to do journalism. So after school, I remember going to Kenya Mass, and then I was told I need to do bridging in Swahili, and I'm like, hell no. I am not doing Kiswahili ever again. So my dad was like, why are you struggling? Yet you have something you have been good in, and you can enhance it. So he told me, go to Kenya Poly and get your papers and all that, get the brochures, you see what you can do. And I think time ya kuingia Kenya Poly ilipita because I was rushing back to school to get my certificates and all that. So when I was coming back, walikuwa wameshafunga.
So Seko?
The name, but anyway, Oyugiogango, it's all the way in Pastrongo, slightly Pastrongo.
Okay.
Sini wale tulipeleka Ushago, because in town I don't think my parents thought I would really make it.
Okay. So wacha nikufundisha hizo zendo ni pronunciation. Oyugiogango in Rongo. See Rongo, it's Rongo.
Rongo. Okay, so Oyugiogango in Rongo. Okay, that sounds better.
Okay. So budako alikuwa anajua unapenda kupika ama?
Oh yes, me I would say my first 11 years of life I was raised by my grandma. And my grandma, anyone who's passed through her hands, you must learn the kitchen. So it was that natural because I was also growing up with ladies who were also had the love of the kitchen. So my grandma she just put it there for us. So I started cooking, I think when I was around 5 with those light stuff. And so my dad was like, let's do what you have done. Because I even remember when I was going to Form 3, I was battling between picking French or home science. Then he said, like, you've just done French for 2 years. I have a feeling you'd not do as well as you do in home science. So I was this home science girl, you know. I loved home science. I performed better in home science than the English that I really thought I loved.
Home science ilitolewa when kwa curriculum? Because nowadays it's not there. Is it there?
Iko, imerudi. By the way, CBC right now, they're doing home science because... but when I was back in primary, literally, I think when I was in class 4-ish, 5-ish, then we found it back in Seko.
Okay. Because sisi siku zetu ilikuwa, I think it was one of the 7 subjects. Sisi ni wazee. Sisi tulifanyaga KCP siku za 700.
Yeah,
over 700. Over 500.
Yeah, by the time I was getting to 8, it was now 500.
Yeah, sisi over 700. Right? Tuko na cheka nayo. So, alafu sasa nini? So, tukikam to story na cooking. There's these jobs. I hear about chef jobs. And I hear that chef jobs are like some of the highest paying jobs hapa Kenya. Is that true? Like if you get a chef job in like a top hotel,
yes,
you'll be getting some CEO money.
If you get good hotels, and good hotels, I mean 5-star hotels. Chefs are paid well. They are paid super well. When you have good papers and they speak for you, they pay well. Good hotels pay well. When you go to below 2 stars, 3 stars, you can't compare the pay in a 2-star to 5-star. It differs. So they pay very well in 5-star hotels. And basically, let's just say, in the hotel industry, chefs are paid well.
So, by well, tunamaanisha pesa ngapi? Because unajua mtu anatangezaga 12K a month, being paid 40K is a lot of money.
Yes, true.
So, by well, tunamaanisha pesa ngapi hivi?
A 6-figure.
6-figure.
Yeah,
but 6-figure would be 100K, which is...
So let me tell you. With the current economy, if you're having 100K end, you're a middle class, you're somewhere. So below, and then considering all the things they have to chuck off, all the things you have to pay before you get your whatever you're supposed to get after the cuts. Below 100, you'd get very little. You'll end up with something very little. Although, like you just said, for someone who's earning 12 to get 40, that's good money. But it also depends because the higher the pay, the higher the taxation. Kumbuka, we have NHIF and NSSF and all that.
But I'd rather be taxed high as long as natengeneza pesa mzuri. So that's why like I'm looking for specific figures. Ndio kunaweza kuwa kuna mtu saizi ana watch. Maybe they themselves want to be a chef or one of their siblings want to be a chef. So like the best salary ushaisikia mtu ana earn ni pesa ngapi?
I remember my superior was being paid 700 Gs because he was not from Kenya. So you see, that's also an added advantage.
I know.
And then the next person to him, before he got to me, I'll choose around 5. And so that means that the rest of you are below that. So you can imagine where your range.
So the best to shape out when working as a chef?
Where my motherhood killed me for this. But let's say 300.
That's good. That's good money. You ilikuwa place again?
Should I mention the name? It was a good place. It was a good place. I've been blessed to work in good hotels. That I can say. I've been blessed to work in very good places. So they paid well. They paid well. Although it got to a time I used to kind of pima, where am I going to get more? So I've also done service. So I love service because I love customer, client, and employee interactions. So I would opt for service in other places than the kitchen. Because then again, you see, taking home a tip of 20 Gs per day, nitakuwa nimechapule chef. Nitakuwa nimebeat salary yake by far. Because now you have your basic salary, you have your incentive, and then you have your tips. So the disadvantage for them, they don't get to interact with people from the front. So they maintain, that's why their salaries are always higher. But ukiwa service, kumbuka, unakula tips. So if you can take home a tip of 20 Gs per day, you're good. In good days.
But that has to be a very high-end hotel, no?
Oh, yes, it was a high-end hotel. It was. It was a high.
Upper Kenya?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Upper Hill too.
Damn, mtafanya ni quit podcasting. Like I want to
it was a good hotel because now I've learned when the whites come over, they enjoy being, they want to synchronize with you.
Yeah.
So if you click well, I'm telling you, they'll come for breakfast, you tipped. Unaweza hata decide kuchapa 24-hour shift. They come for lunch, you tipped. They come for dinner, you tipped. So I think there's a time I've taken home like around 65 Gs.
In one day?
In one day.
Yeah.
So okay, if you compile that, and it doesn't happen like it on a daily basis, but if you compile all that, I kid you not, mapiga chef.
Yeah, because kuna siku, I think kuna hii story nishaipatiaga watu. The story was my wife once, because she does not work huku front office, but there's something, I don't know what was happening. And then she was in the upper mbele front office. Then she had to help out. So someone was checking out. Alafu mtu akampatia. Ilikuwa Oman. Oman use real side.
Yeah.
It's reals.
Real.
So she was given 400 reals. And she just took them. She was like, easy ni don't copy. Yeah, ni confirmie kama Oman ni reals. I don't want to use the wrong.
Real, I think real to Kenyan shillings right now is 400 by 30.
Yeah.
That would be allowed 12K. Or no, saizi I think it's 35. It's going at 35, yeah.
What? 35 what?
The one...
35 what?
35 shillings.
No. We are talking about the wrong thing. Basi.
Oh.
Angalia. Oman utumia? Which currency? So, because alipatiwa the same thing. She was given 400 reals. Ama 400 whatever Oman uses. She didn't know because she just worked there for a few seconds. Then the next thing she decided to was like, since she was in Mombasa, she was like, let me pass through a bureau, ni change pesa alafu niende. Alafu msa bureau kuiona akamwambia mimi niko na haraka. Nitakupatia, I think alimwambia nitakupatia 40,000.
Wow.
Kashtuka like 40,000. She was given her 40K and she went on her way. Eventually she came to find out the amount of money she should have gotten. Wow. So I know what hotels do, but now ukiwa kwa hoteli nilikuwa nafaa kujua exchange rates
yes.
Pesa.
I used to have them here.
Yeah, kila mtu assume dollar is the strongest. The dollar is not always the strongest.
Always.
So hapo hiyo nakisha get your exchange rate tutacheki, but I remember like whatever she got and whatever she was supposed to get
was totally different.
I think she was given, was it 440? She was given 440 something, the currency that Oman has. And that currency is stronger than a dollar.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So kichukua.
It can't be Riyadh.
Hata alikuwa nafikiria like even if it's 4K, she would have been happy with 4K. She would be like, whatever. Yes. It's real. So 1 real is 371 Kenyan shillings.
Wow.
So now try and imagine
her,
she didn't know because she was there. Alikuwa hapo kwa reception for a very short time. She's given this money. She goes to a bureau. She's given 40K. She's happy. That guy made a profit of 270 for every real. Take ignorance. So she lost like 100 Gs.
I know, yeah.
When she told me that story, I judged her.
You shouldn't. You should, because I think I've also had, what's funny is if you have colleagues who are not for you, they totally mislead you. Because I remember my first dollar, I was given 100, and then I just didn't. I was like, whatever I'm going to get, I do not care. And then somebody tells me, I need to change front office. So jua, ukichange door in the hotel, iko chini.
Bad rate.
Retail iko chini sana. And then I'm like, one time in the bureaus, I'm taking my mom's sisters, and then I'm like, Kai, you mean this is how the much I lost? So it's just the fact that...
Na pesa ngapi kwa front office?
80 bob.
Kuwa serious.
I know. Na hiyo time ilikuwa 101, 102. Yeah, so...
So advice to watu ni kama utajipata kwa hotel industry, make sure you have internet, just check exchange rate.
Yes, always know.
You would get the exchange rate just -5. So like if it's 102 and you get 96, that's not bad. You get 97, that's not bad. But let it not be 102 and you're getting 40 shillings. Unacheki you kama your wife, it's like she got 100 shillings for something that was worth 370. You see, so kuna hiyo pole alafu Nini, so piki come to cooking, I feel like the modern Kenyan woman is moving away from the kitchen. Do you feel the same? Like, I feel like because we become so woke, cooking is being looked down upon, especially by women.
Okay.
As a traditional female role.
I think I would have a negative and a positive approach to it because I'm thinking, for example, I'd use myself. You're out there, you've been in the kitchen the whole day.
Yeah.
What happens when I come home? I just want to relax. But now I'm not able to relax because I have a family that need to eat.
Yeah.
So you find someone in my position, a lot of times we tend to relent those duties to our house helps or the people we live with. But at the back of your mind, you need to remember, who am I apart from my work? Who am I? I'm a woman. And who am I in my house? And then, sadly enough, my people eat very kidogo. So that day I would want to just explore. They wouldn't enjoy it as someone who's come to visit because they're so used to it. So they just do. Nothing towards them anymore. We're used to this and it's cover for them. So if I'd have people over there like, Kai, Aki, this food, this food. So it kind of discourages me from even wanting to do it. But then just holding on to the fact that I have to do it keeps me pushing and like, let me just do it. Whether you like it or not, it's good. But najiskuma kufanya. But sasa utapata watu wengine natural. I have friends who naturally kitchen is not for them. Me hata idea kuchapi story. Like they keep you so storied up. By the time you realize umeweza kupika, mkipiga two stories. So it's not a thing for many people. Yeah.
But you see, like back in the days, it was like every woman could cook.
Had to cook.
But now, I think there was this wave of wokeness that came across. I'm going to say that ended up calling these traditional male roles traditional female roles. And with that, a few women are pushing back. They're like, why should I cook? And so you don't feel the same? Like right now, cooking, saying you don't cook looks somehow cool amongst women. Like I can't cook and I have a dude. Like, oh yeah.
I think, now, as I'd say, you see, for someone who'd just come upward and say, I don't know how to cook, ama sipendi kupika.
Yeah.
Starts with the background. Ulifundishwa, how are you raised? Because I think there's this generation, like the current generation, I have students currently who, it's like, there are those that I used to force it into them. And then I'm like, why did you take the course again? You have to force it. Juu akufundishwa that kitungu ni mina nakata na kisu. Atakata na machine. Like everything is so microwaved for them that they need to do things faster. So for them, cooking wasn't basic. So for me, I look at your background. Who raised you? How were you raised? Because right now, each generation inakamsa hizi, people are so out of my house helps wanafanya hizo vitu. So they don't have the need of, they'll eat. Whether you're eating crap or eating good food, you don't care. For you, I need to get full. So I'd put it on parents or guardians who are bringing up the children right now. I think you just need to impose it. Whether it's good or it's just the way you need to teach a kid that clean up after yourself. When they clean up after themselves, they'll know in future, when they grow up, it's something that naturally happens.
And then from the outside looking in, the hotel industry, inakanika iko na more male chefs than women.
Oh, yes. I'm telling you, the male they've dominated that place.
Kwa nini?
They have, and I kid you not, they do a better job. Not in a bad way, don't smack me, but they do such a good job than what the women do. Because it comes with passion. I've met male chefs that are more passionate than the women. They're just so passionate. And then when you start looking at imetoka wapi, your passion inatoka wapi, and those you get to interact with, what motivates you to be this passionate about the kitchen. And they're like, one told me at one point, I have a girlfriend who doesn't know how to cook, so I went to school to learn how to cook because I had to marry her. It was shitty.
That's a Hollywood script.
I know. I'm like, okay, if that is what motivated you, well and good, but say what?
Yeah, because mimi Morgan, there's this line that I like quoting my wife hates. There's a rapper that I love. It's called Slug. So Slug has this one line where he says, I'm a feminist, I'm also a misogynist. To me, if a girl can't cook, siku ubaya, because I hate the kitchen. I literally I show up there once a year to make tea.
Wow.
So, if a woman can't cook, kuna zile za, and I think that that's the tricky thing that's happening right now. Because with mboches, you've seen the videos. There's a house help is there, anakojolea kikombe, alafu akulete. Unashindwa, chakula kikiwa na ammonia, chakula ni tamu sana ikiwa na ammonia. Kuma mnakula mkojo.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Sad. But we need to get back to that place, to our first love. Let's get back to that place where, that is for women, I say, where let's take charge of our kitchens. Rather, let's take charge. I say this to my friends and they're like, oh, when I'm sure this. So we understand where you come from. But I don't think it's that. It's, yes, I was raised by a grandma.
Yeah.
But it didn't live from me. The Bible says, teach a child in the way they should grow and they will never depart away from it. So for mine, it didn't depart away from me. I lived through it. I lived with it. So let's go back to that place where can we embrace the kitchen more?
So uliraised on a grandma kwa nini? Where were your parents?
Well, my mom got me at a very tender age. And so my grandma just stepped in. I'm like... I'm a grandma's baby. I'm her last born. I keep telling my mom's last sister, I'm the last born here.
Yeah. Your mom did what?
She got paged when she was still back in school. Yeah. So she had to go finish up her school. And so my grandparents took me.
Oh, okay.
And they held me for those first 11 years.
And siblings you have?
I have one brother, my follower. And I have other siblings. I call them, they're not really my cousins because my grandma put this thing in our head that so long as the relative, that's your brother, that's your sister. So I have other brothers.
Yeah.
I'm just sandwiched with men around.
But your mom has just 2 kids.
Yeah, my mom has 2 kids and then her stepsisters had boys as well.
Yeah. So Kwani, she got pregnant at what age? She gave birth to you at what age?
She was in Form 3.
Form 3? That's 17, around 17.
She was in Form... I've never asked her how old she was. But I've never asked her.
Yeah. You lazima ikueli affect how now your grandma raised you, Ama? She was not worried that you might end up...
Oh, yes, she was. I was a stubborn child. I was stubborn. They didn't even see me getting to where I am today. I was so stubborn. I think stubborn in a good way because every teenager just blows up differently.
Yeah.
But I was stubborn. And then my grandma was like, I'm fearing history would repeat itself. So, sisi ni wale wa kufungiwa. Sisi tulifungiwa, I'm telling you. My grandma would see a male figure walking around the fence. Atatoka kuangalia, where have you been walking here? What do you want? So, mi nilifungiwa to the point where now, I was just starting life on my own. I still had those boundaries. Yeah. I was just like, oh, I'm scared this could happen and this could... Yeah. So, I just love. I love her.
Yeah, because ocha inakuangani? I don't need Jogweng.
Jogweng. Also, I would say I was raised in Kisumu because my grandma was a teacher. She was a depa. So tulika Kisumu for a long time. Then when now she was almost retiring, I came to join my parents in Nairobi. And then I think after her retirement, she moved to Shags now. But all through my high school, I would check school, at times go home, come to Nairobi, to depend, to vary. But I preferred going home than coming back to Nairobi. Yeah.
I love, so now when you got older, ukiangalia your mom's situation, did it affect even you, the way you viewed life?
Her getting pitched at her?
Yeah.
I got my firstborn at 23.
Okay.
I was... Okay, the difference was I was living on my own and I was working.
Yeah.
My mom was in school at her mom's. But my mom still felt history repeated itself because I was young. Yeah, so I got my first one when I was 23. Was it okay?
Our moms are not serious. When you come to think of it, our moms are not serious.
Why?
Because waangalie, even our grandmas, check firstborn wake alipata at what age? Much younger. You know that?
True.
My mom, my firstborn sister, my dad should be in jail. My mom was 17. But you know, that's your culture.
Yeah.
Because my firstborn sister was born in 1969. So if she was born in 1969, my dad was 21, and then my mom was 17. You see?
Yeah.
But during that time, that was how things were. But you see now, this woman who got Nini at 17, got like her first kid at 17, will not be happy when her daughter gets first kid at 23, 24. Makes no sense. You understand?
It kind of makes sense because maybe they think there's something, getting a child early blocked them from something else, from maybe achieving something they could have gladly achieved if they didn't have a baby that early.
Yeah.
So I got to understand it.
Yeah. Because you also have to look at the window of Madame Kuza, because past 35, he said it's dangerous, isn't it? It becomes dangerous. You know that?
Scientifically.
Yeah, scientifically. Like the probability of complications and what. So it means lazima ikuwe hapa mbele. Hapa.
Before the 35.
Yes, before the 35. So even if it's 30, you'll find someone saying it's too early. So I don't know, like how to get that balance.
It's difficult. I think, you see, like me, I used to say, I want to have kids by 30. Yes, I had kids by 30. I had 2 by 30. And am I happy about it right now? Yes, I am, because I embraced my truth. Yeah. So I'm very much comfortable in that skin. But let's stop hitting our heads over time issue. Because we all have different timings. I think God has just given us different races to run. So I would normally feel people should stop hating themselves. It's just the same way I would see you and I'm like, hey, at this age, na mimi niko hii age, and you've achieved A, B, C, D, and me, but I'm slacking behind. It's more or less the same thing. We all have our different types of blessings.
Because pia mi naweza jienjoy niseme kuna sana shindwa leo hasa na record wapi. So leo tuko place inaitwa Base Studios. So Base Studios tuko na unajua ule msewa the mics are open anaitwa Calvin. So anchikijo at this age Calvin iko na studio tayari. Jo mi at this age bado ni na shoot nikiwa kwa sitting room. Jo iko nene ja. So never compare yourselves with people, because with that you'll never feel like you're moving. So ausemaga as long as you're moving, you're doing something.
You are.
Kuna watu unaweza assume like uko still but z. So so I think issue ya Nini, I don't feel like to explore. Why do you feel like the modern woman looks at the kitchen? Some modern women look at the kitchen as a tool of oppression. Is it because of the funny jokes zile tunamaking out there? Ushaisikia this one joke? At never buy your woman a watch because there's a time clock on the cooker.
I have had that. Okay, I don't know. You know, in our house we say this. You know, watching too much of this American stuff, you divert everything. Uko tu zile za but the oni mzungu, si lazima pike, they can go for takeouts. Mbona mimi, you know. So we've watched so much, just like soap operas affected people. I don't know if it still does. I nearly chuck off. But time yetu, sit watch soap and I'm like, this is the marriage I want. This is the man I want. If not this muscles, if not this ABCD, this is, you know. So you start comparing these two. Real life and what you're watching on telly. And siku hizi even just making it broader that we have Wi-Fi is at home. We don't have to go back to the movie shops to spend on movies, you know. So you can watch these things from home. And, you know, I tend to feel, because I have friends who that has affected them. What they were, they're like, my life, I can live out of the kitchen. Si lazima. But they si lazima. Neza fanya takeouts. There are people you will find who will embrace that. But there are those people like, ay manze. And then now, if you find someone who's a chauvinist, worst case scenario, because they want to see you in the kitchen. They want to see you being a modern woman, cleaning, doing whatnot, ironing, as in dishes, cooking. And so, I don't know, I think it's interactions with our society, the environment. Those things change you. They do change you.
Because ironing, I think, is being an a-hole. Like if you expect your woman to iron for you, you're being an a-hole. Hapa cooking ndio inakuwaga tricky kiasi. Because unajua, I feel like I don't know kama you unafeel your difference, but more feel ni kama between a man and a woman, it's the women who want to settle more than sisi. Sisi we want just to be, maybe tunataka tu kuenjoy maisha, then eventually have to settle. So ukisettle, so feel ni kama if I'm making 1, 2, 3 sacrifices, at least let me benefit something. And I know the benefits is just a home cooked meal.
Compromise is important.
Yeah.
Compromise is important. So we need to be able to be in that place of, can we compromise?
Yeah.
But the men should also be in a place to say, upende kupika, then is it something we can learn together? Let's try. If we're doing potatoes today, let's try. Ata ikitoka mbaya. That is what we have made. You're giving me the interest, me the person who doesn't love cooking, you're giving me the interest to want to engage in this. So YouTube has done well also, because people learn cooking, a lot of cooking from YouTube. Just get something from YouTube, try it out. Involve her, because they think involvement also brings them close back to the kitchen. But I have to do this for you to be able to go to the kitchen. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense, Ni ngumu. But again, compromise is important.
Yeah, but unajua hiyo nini umesema ina sound zile za movie, zile za if you like this, let me join you in the kitchen. Because sisi tukawa like, kuna story jokes siwezi make because kuna mtoto mdogo amekuja kwa hii room na kwa nafaa kuhapa. So, yeah, so anyone wondering is I have my daughter in the background. She was not supposed to join us, but she decided to be like a little puppy. So she's just here, jumping. So uliishi kwa the chef industry ulika for how long? Like how long were you in the hotel industry?
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years.
I think I've done this for 10 years now. But I was in the hotel industry for 8 years. Before, I think during my training, I was blessed to do my attachment in Parliament.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I did. I tell people that and they're like, no, ulitoka huko kwa nini? Wow.
So Parliament uko nafanya cooking?
There's a hotel inside there. Yeah, there's a restaurant.
But I don't think those people, do those a-holes tip?
Again, are you sweet with words? Are you sweet to your clients?
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think this is something we were not taught in school, but when you get to the industry, kwa ground vitu are different, of course. So when you get to the industry, you learn customer care relations. How do I relate to this person? Because I think one time, I think he's now the late Rojo Day. He used to come, he was so strict. As for him, it's food. Akule atoke. But one time I'm like, hi.
Rojo Day is the huge guy.
Oh yes, and very dark. So imagine my height. I would look at him like this. And he's like, hey, nah, I'm like, I see people fear saying, hi, what's the problem? You've come for food. And then create that relationship. I'm telling you, I had 10 G's out of nowhere on that day.
Yeah.
So it's industry nataka mse anajua kuongea na watu. It's not flirting. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It's not flirting. Just have good customer care morals. Know about your guests. Want to know how is their morning, how has their afternoon been, what do they want to eat. Unajua kuna wale watakuja ndio huyu yake ni hii. And I'm run for it. But since I want to upsell for the hotel, I want to sell you something different so that let's boost this. Maybe we're introducing a different kind of menu. So I want to introduce this. So I'm trying to upsell. So if you interact with them, they are so soft. I'm telling you, the people you see on tellies, they're not the same. With the people who are in there, they're totally different people.
Yeah.
I used to feel, manzesi hawaseni watoto because of how they interact with you. I'm like, why are you so work when you come to TV? It's different. But that's how I did my attachment.
Because that would be interesting. Mimi naweza kuwa nangoja mtu naangalia tu political alignment. So nimecheki amekuja ni mtu wa UDA. Na huyu Raila, huyu mtu si anatusumbua kichwa. Nioneka tipi data.
But I think when you're with them one-on-one, you don't think of that. Because when I was there, when Kibaki was the president then. And you don't think of that. I'd served our current president. I tell you some of the things, like one time, what made me feel like, he did something. I was like, I may not be able to say it now. But what I'm trying to say is
Alifanya
venye wako huko ndani.
Alifanya nini?
My goodness, I'll get stones thrown at me. But so you see, Parliament is divided into 3. So there's the main, and then across over there's County Hall, and then there's Continental, and then we used to also go all the way to Karen, where the Speaker used to live before, where Ole Kapara used to live. So this week I'm based in Intercontinental, where the offices are. So he comes to because the restaurant was in the rooftop. He comes to the rooftop, asks for food. His own call. So, when I bring you food, expect the table setup I did should remain the same. Legs on table. Niambia when you're kwambia mheshimiwa weka mguu chini. Because he was an MP at that time. Tell me how you want to tell me. Can you put your legs down? So I come with the food and I find that situation. I go back with it because I'm like, I'm not laying food on the table with that. When they decide they can be inaweza kuleta shida. When you training unafanya, So I had to go back and then I come back and I'm like, should I bring your food now? He's still on call. Mind you, had you seen me with food, the better thing would have been move, I clean. But that didn't happen. It almost an hour of that. So when he decided he's done, he woke up and left. Na shapiga out their food, iko ready. Shapiga out their food.
But you got free food, wow, they are not paying for it.
They sign.
They sign.
They sign. So they have accounts there. So once they sign, it's deducted. So all they need to do, they need to keep topping up their accounts.
So did he sign?
He didn't.
So ile video chakula ifanyike.
He never signed. And it's hard because let me say it was a specification of more spice, and someone comes wants the same thing, but he can have more spice. This person doesn't expect. What happens to that food? So there was funny situations in that moment that I would feel like, okay, this industry is not getting funny. But the money you take away home, because you remember he left, but he sent his PA to tip. Yeah, he just sent his PA to tip. I was in the restaurant alone that day. So I'm like, okay.
Pia ka tip pesa ngapi?
Kidogo.
Sema tu.
But it was enough for my family. I'm a student. I was a student then. So coach he gave 3 Gs.
So inamaanisha pia alipatiwa 10. Hata kipatia 3.
Chances are,
even 20k.
Yes.
Unapata pia alipatiwa 20.
Akakujenga 3.
Mimi hata niko PS.
But ukiwa huko ndani, people who tip well and who don't tip well. There are those who are just generous tippers. So nakumbuka Marende then had this thing of let's not have too much interactions with them because they felt like these things are getting out of line of work kinda. So we are trying to be professional, yes, but because I remember one time there's someone who tipped me, alieka pesa kwa envelope, kakunja, and then akatupa kama trash kwa tray, kwa plate alikulia. So when he did that and then he gave me a signal, I'm like, okay, boss, we're good.
Nani? That's a good person, man.
He was an MP for Uriri. He was called Cyprian Omolo.
Wajaka alikuwa analeta ujalua.
They are good tippers. I kid you not. They were good tippers.
Okay. Who else was there hizo siku? Because hii time yako ni ya kitambo. Time ya kina Marende. When Marende was the speaker.
Kalonzo was the VP then.
Because Kalonzo nisikia ni mtiaje mbaya. He never tips. Ni mchoyo. Huyo ni shaisikia. Story ya Kalonzo. There's like one of the big celebrities wa Kenya came and gave us a story. And then he asked us to cut that part out. But yeye alikuwa anasema Kalonzo ni kwanza akiwa VP alikuwa mtiaji.
He was.
Alikuwa mtiaji proper.
He was. And he rarely would come to the restaurant, but those days he would come because where the other MPs dine is different from where the VP and the president dine because they had a kahaya something, I don't know where, in a small lounge restaurant. So that's where they would sit. So I'm telling you, your team kulikuwa na MP watiaji, Naomi Shaban. Oh my goodness, she made my life hell in Parliament.
Naomi Shaban?
Oh, she made my life hell in Parliament. I'm sorry to say.
Alikuwa anafanya nini?
She's so Swahili, and the way Swahilis don't mean anything. And how she would say it, uko tu pale train umebeba feelings zako tu. And I remember my leg used to tell us, when you get to the industry, don't take anything to heart.
Yeah.
Just laugh. Niko zile za unajua umeniambia nini. And then the cultural me, like me, the Luo in me, you tell me that. And then after she noticed she's talked smack to you, nakumbuka that day she threw 1,000 bob on the floor. I'm like, hell no. Who told you niko na shida ya pesa? Yes, I want money, but don't throw it on the floor for me. Don't throw it on the floor for me. Yeah. Me, I tell people, these people out here, what you see is different from what is in there. Even in hotels, I'm telling you, I've served celebrities, I've served good people.
Wacha celeb tutawataja, wacha tu maintain up. Uloi mitu Uhuru, because Uhuru kaa kutoa tip ya maana hapo tunakosa.
He would come. You know, he was vying at that time.
Yeah.
He would rarely tip. Personally, I never got his tip, but he would
babako iko kwa note, yani wezi niachia picha babako. Haupendi babako.
Even the oldies who are there, I remember very few times of people who'd say he tipped there. Yeah. But he was a good guy. He was good to relate with. The other person I think who was a bit ish, when you saw her, you'd be like, hey, msetoroka. Was Mama Karua. Yani, you can't have such nails. Okay, our industry doesn't allow you this one in this. Alafu kuji atu mepika colorless. Kona piga marende cheki. Your restaurant has this and that. I'm like, So for her, me, I would see her and I'm off. Ian and Nani, this general who died, what was his name? The general who died during when? He was that one.
Pierre Comtiage.
You'd see him coming from there. You'd rather you be ready with the plate for him to do his salads because he would find no one there with a plate. People who survived Parliament, my goodness, they're still there.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was a good place. I'm telling you, it's a good place to make money. Kwanza for this industry, it was a good place to make money. May I say if I was in Parliament right now, mina kwambia unaona waiter, amejenga, ana drive, akona rentals, anachapa Airbnbs, akona mauba uko zile za msi unagetaje do. But there are so many legal ways of getting money that are not straight in there.
That's interesting because now this is a way for Nini, like kujitetea. If you have unexplained wealth, nilikuwa napika chakula kwa Parliament. Walikuwa wananiachia pesa. I can't pay tax on a gift. Unajitetea kwa Parliamentary Service Committee, umeita nani? Umeita ma MP wa kuja kama witness. Ruto nakumbuka ukiweka miguu juu kabla kuwa president.
Oh my goodness.
Uliniachia. That's so people make money, yeah?
Okay. There are good ways of making money. They're legal. As in for me, I'm a Christian. So there are ways I would not go to the extreme of wanting to make money.
I'm a Christian.
I will not come to your office to rob you, to be given money.
Oh, they also want those ones?
Oh, yeah.
Because
I had a friend who used to take me for those trips. Let me not just mention. But she was so pretty. Have you ever seen those people who are so pretty? Because wewe kwani uliumbwa saa ngapi? She was so pretty. So akanasema, mtoto, twende. Because she had 2 kids and you wouldn't even know she had 2 kids. Mtoto, twende. Tunaenda, wewe twende tafute fare. Tutatoka gates akihesabu 40k. Mimi niko na 5k. Was huyu ni mtoto tumetembea shika 500. She's been given money. But I'm like, me 5k was a lot for me. Mimi ni do niko sawa. I was just fine. So there are good ways of making. Just be good, know how to relate with them, know how to talk to them.
She was being given money for the look so much. There was extra service.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, one time I saw her. Anyway.
Because pale pia sinasikiaga kuna na you remember when Nani anaitwa Sonko alikuwa sema nani iko na kaswende.
Yeah, Sonko was an MP then. Hey, that guy our time. He'd come to Continental and tell us ukujeni kwa ofisi. And then when you go to the office and you find amepanga notice of 50 bob like a desk like this amepanga he tell you I'm so broke today. Mimi niko zile za is he broke mse broke is me. But on days you'd find amepanga notice za tao
afa anapatiana.
Oh yeah. So was he was so good. He was good then. He was my MP.
Kuna hii majuzi alisema I don't know if he said even that person stinks, but he was saying there's someone who'd shika like one of these venereal diseases. Akanasema sijui ananuka kwa Parliament. You know him, he does not have any filters. ikikam to nini. So ni interesting sana.
But your time alikuwa mpoa. I tend to think he was much more humble then than I think he is right now.
Yeah. Because right now he's a much bigger artist. Na nini? Nikikam to artists, you said you served a few artists. Which ones come to mind?
What is his name? This Jamaican is called who? The name is slipping away. I was working in Nairobi Safari Club at that time.
Yeah. Alafu iza kwa sejo hii desk inaumiza rasa, hata nisimame kidogo. Mimi nimezoea cushion jo. So iko nene msijali jo. Tuko Base Studios jo, tafuteni couch jo. Kuna tukaa sisi wana. Matako ijazoea.
I thought I was feeling it alone. Wow.
Yeah, pia unaisikia. So unaweza simama ukitaka. So
I'm fine.
Which ones?
Akinaitwa nani umse?
Jamaican. Jakiwa.
No.
Richie Spice.
And Richie Spice.
Yeah.
So I think that was my first encounter with an artist. Alafu, imagine me, I am so much into gospel industry that me watu wa secular kisiko na wajua. And then msaka nambia, unajua peli umepeleka chai. Was ni Richie Spice? I'm like, amemba. And then it's just a common song I've heard all through my childhood. I'm like, so he's the one. So that was my first big serve.
So that's Ital. What's Ital food? I need some Ital food and some Ital food. What's the Ital food? They eat just normal food?
Yeah, they eat normal food. But now, I think when they come around, they drink more.
Alcohol?
No, they have, they have more of beverages than wanting to eat.
Some juice.
Juice, coffee. I don't know what is it with coffee with everybody. But they drink more beverages than they have food because unajua pia kuelewa cuisine yetu pia kuna venye. Unless you've had it before or rather you have some good reference to it, you'll try enjoy even if you do not.
Because it's interesting. Are there so Richie Spice, who else locally?
Locally, I've served Nameless.
How's Nameless?
Wahoo. They're good.
They're good, eh?
Oh my goodness, they're good.
Walitip?
Yeah.
Okay. Nauliza, alafu mimi najua mimi ni mtu wa ovyo. Mimi ni mtu wa kutip so moja nikiwa kwa normal restaurant nikienda place kubwa kama hiyo.
Let me tell you, even that 100 bob is okay. Because me, the way we bank on tips, utakijua. Because leo sina fare. Na nisipopata fare. They really bank on tips. I've also learned to, when you have give, kuna ile situation yenye sina. But hata hiyo 100 bob, mimi napiga sababu hiyo ni fair kunipeleka home na kunirudisha job kesho.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's okay.
Yeah. So, but Richie Spice bado na go back kwa hii. Alikula nini? Nikisikia Richie Spice
he had a concert. Tulienda wapi? Tulienda huku Kambani, some dry place. Almost karibu na wote. There was an event over there. So, they were performing and they didn't eat. This lady she's called the Tana.
Tana.
Yeah, she was with the Tana. She was with, he was with the Tana. Waire was there, Nazizi was there.
Yeah.
So unajua uko kwa ile nini ya, so Akiva, I've lived seeing Waire since I was a baby singing. And now I'm seeing you. So that thing got to my head. So anytime I would serve a celebrity, I'm like, I've met a celebrity, you know.
Okay.
And then over time, sasa unaanza kusema, ukishatoka parliament because zile za I've seen big people.
Because parliament ni serious.
Like I've seen big people, so nilikuja kuzoea. It didn't get to me like it did in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I just got used to it.
So, okay. So, Nini, hii table ya kina Waire na Zizi, I'm sure there was no one like me who like, what do you want? I want some honey glazed pork ribs.
No. I'm telling you, they didn't eat in that event.
Yeah. Okay.
It was more of drinks. It was more. And then something just happened that spoiled the entire event. So,
what happened?
I don't know how do you call kalausi in kawaida language? Kalausi.
I don't know.
I'm trying to get that name.
Ian, fanya research. Kalausi nini? Me, Kalausi, I just know Kalausi creatives.
No. You don't know this kinini that wraps the wind off the ground and then...
a whirlwind.
That one.
Yeah, there was a whirlwind.
Yeah, it chipped off the tents. And then, to come out, they're like, hey, something is up on us. And then they just flew out.
Oh.
And they went out.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So parliament hata ukuniambia ulika for how long parliament ama ulikuuliza?
How long did I went my training was from September 2011 to January. 3 months. You're supposed to do Nini about 3 months. Yeah, I did 3 months.
Oh, okay. Because tukiwa high school tulikuwa na kitu inaitwa voluntary service. And I don't know why they never looked for voluntary service pale parliament. Si tungetengeza pesa jo. Because sisi tungekuwa na t-shirts wetu.
Tukisaidia. Tulikuwa tunapewa 5K your time. I wanna feel like I made it. They were paying better than when mini trainee and I'm getting nothing out of it.
Okay, that's neat. So this is how you started out, eh?
Yeah, so this is my beginning.
Then you go to the hotel. You go to the hotel, kwa hotel industry ukaka for 8 years, eh?
Yeah, hotel industry. Me nimetembea hotels. Me, I'm looking for big. I want big, be it money, be it experience. So I moved. I'm telling you, where my husband works currently, he's been there since, I say 2013, 2014, same place. And me, I don't have that heart. I don't have a heart of staying in one place for that. But he's very patient and it's a persevering person, which I didn't. So, nimetembea kwa hoteli kibao.
Yeah. Oh, lakini sijua usema gani ni in life sisi lazima tukue kuna a certain level of patience lazima tukue na kuna risks that we take because pia when we take
risks, he's told me that a lot of times. It's like I just can't decide to wake up and go. Me, I'm telling the days I left natoka job and I don't have any other place to go to. But I'm like I can't take that whole crap anymore.
Yeah, because he's there.
So najitoa. I'm like hotels ni mingi. By the do you know that time getting jobs was so easy than right now. Sazi ingia kwa hoteli useme nataka HR and tell me if you'll get to HR. Nishapeleka CV yangu Hilton na turn hivi watch anarusha kwa pit. Anarusha kwa dustbin.
But see the watch knew something. See, Hilton was going down. Pia mimi ningerusha tu.
No, that's so bad.
Yeah, because Hilton just to end like that was such an iconic place that it's sad that, for example, my kid one day when I explained to her Hilton, that name won't be Hilton. Because see, the sign is still there, huh?
Oh, yes. I don't think. I think it's still there.
Yeah, because Hilton, but the hotel industry, pia, there's the way Airbnb has come and messed it up.
Oh, yeah.
And then hotels have sprung up everywhere. And now you can get the same services, especially these old hotels. I think zile services because na classify was 5-star. Saizi utapata, maybe a 3-star can do the same.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Quite well. Yeah. But I think what qualifies you for a 5-star, konga tunaambiwa, there was this 3-star I was in, konaambiwa, equipment zetu as to qualify for a 5-star. I'm like, what equipment do you need to qualify you to a 5-star? But if you're ever blessed to work in a 5-star, I take the opportunity. Yeah. Because I gained my good experience from 5-star. I used to work in Radisson Blue. That was my best place of work.
Hapo ndio ulikuwa sema kuna unatoka na tips za 65k in a day.
There was tips. There was good money.
Your best month? Ukiwa kwa hotel, best month yako ilikuwa dongapi?
As a tip?
Yeah. Like the best, I'm saying like
collective
65, maybe leo ni soko bole, because I'm sure the days are like this. You might make so much today and then very little tomorrow.
Yes. There's a month I've made a tip of almost 250.
Oh, okay.
Of almost 50. Let me say 250 and above.
Oh, that's good, man.
Those are good months. Good months.
Oh, okay. But Nini, Parliament na Radisson, which one would be better?
If you're Radisson given a chance, for the experience and exposure.
Yeah, I know, purely for money.
Okay.
Purely for money?
I think money-wise, it's nezazi balance.
Yeah, okay.
But nile tu sasa, Parliament, I know it's this setup of people, but Kula, it's broad.
It's random.
I remember when I was in Radisson, I had colleagues who unapata mgeni umemsabu umemimpress anakuinvite over.
Yeah.
I can get your visa. You can come over. You want to study? So those are the advantages you'd take for bigger hotels. Yeah.
But that was before TV spread. Sikuzi vile nishawatch TV mlami akini-invite pale niko like, do you want me to be a slave? But I Johnny saw the movie. Like, yeah, you thought coming from Africa because of food.
No, there's that. But you know, I can't gauge you with a one-day meeting.
Yeah.
But I can also gauge you with the same, with a one day. But there's a lot I can hide in our days meeting. Yeah, so mgeni akikuja si ati ataka hapo for 1 month. There are those who stay there for a month. But we used to have this kid Tanzanian. I think he was a big person back in his country. This guy would walk into the restaurant with a briefcase. It was all money. Na hii do by the time nafika jioni, ametipia na karibu suitcase imeisha.
Na hisi pesa TZ?
Kwa zile za msi.
Anati pesa ya Kenya ama TZ?
Ya Kenya?
Yeah, kuzikinipatia TZ ndakuwa hapo nikichapa ma calculations.
And he'll tip the people in that shift. They'll tell you, give cashier this, give so this. Ule alinisalimia, mpatie. He was a good person.
Tanzanian taxpayers' money.
I know, sadly.
Yeah. That's the sad thing about it. So eventually, Radisson ulitoka ja? You are retrenched?
Let me say, when I left Parliament, I went to... Where did I go to? I went back to school now. After school, I went to a small restaurant in Hurlingham.
Yeah.
And that's why I started my kitchen now profession. So I did that for half a year. And then I got paged with my baby and I couldn't work anymore. Something happened, I couldn't work anymore. Then I just stayed home up until I was able to give birth. And then after that, I went back to hotels. So I've worked in like 6 small restaurants. There were small beginnings, yes, but I held them somehow because they gave me reasons to want to grow. I went to Nairobi Safari Club. I left Nairobi Safari Club. I went to Muthaiga Country Club where it's members only. Yeah. Kwambia familia uri ilikuwa inalandiwa na chofo because it was that time. It was your electioneering period. I think it was coming for his time too.
Omelana na chopa na hakuna tip bado.
Manze pale ku get tip. Wenyeji ndio walikuwa napata.
Sasa toka pale kwa kitchen. Si mama akikula unaangalia tu. What do you want? How's the food?
I'm telling you, then they used to speak with their... I didn't hear what you said. Yeah. And then me and then my Luo, whatever, I'm like, come again? A lot of friends were like, what are these things? I couldn't hear because, they'll be blown out from...
This is the kids now. Ama Uhuru himself and the wife.
Even Uhuru used to come. Nani loved that place, the late Kirubi.
Yeah.
I really loved that place. But Kirubi alikuwa mgumu. Oh my word. Alikuwa mgumu.
Yeah, okay.
He never used to tip. I think there's a time nilipataki lecture. Waitaki wambe, umesoma unangoja nikutip. Do you know how much I've worked for that money? Which is true. It's not like...
He was telling a waiter that?
Yeah. I don't know what happened. Waiter, yasha serve amemaliza. Just walk away. If they'll tip you, they'll look for you, So
you can get fired.
Check him say, it's like nothing. So he's like, so you're standing there waiting for me to tip you. Do you know how I had that money? So he alikuwa mkali. Alikuwa tu mkali.
I think it's New York if I'm not wrong. Hiyo unaweza cheki. But New York, you have to tip. It's not... Inakuwaga vizuri kabisa imeandikwa chakula ni hivi alafu tip ni 15%. So ukiingia pale
hata hotels za huku saizi ziko hivyo. Kwa nini in your check they'll write. So if you write tip on the check, it will be billed in your room. So hiyo tip, how it goes, end of the month itagawanyishwa
to everyone. That's bullshit.
So mimi ndio nimefanya job alafu why are you people getting mine? But anyway, that's what they normally do. They write in the check.
Yeah.
You can tip, but it will be billed to your room, so you pay when you're checking out.
Yeah, because I think there's one state in New York, in America, where I think tips are compulsory, and people find it to be super interesting. Because what if I get bad service? I'm still supposed to tip. I check it. So kuna hiyo nini, or at least maybe nilisikiaga vibaya. But so niko nakuuliza ulitoka. Kwa nini ulitoka for your industry? Because I'm assuming it's...
I may got sacked a lot of times. Countless times.
So you're bad at your job?
No. Utiaji tu. I say hotels, but my husband tells me it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Because even his workplace has the same. But kuna tu utiaji flani. If you're working well, people tend to think, msana pandishwa cheo.
Yeah.
Like you're growing. So before uone the light of I've been sacked countless times. But in all those, the one that really got to my heart to date was you, Radisson.
Oh.
I'm telling you, if HRs could act as independent bodies, that would save people quite a lot. Because I'm like, don't wait for my manager to tell you I am bad in this. Like, investigate. Like, get to know how I work before you make a decision. So mine was basically, my HR was pushed by people. Hey, me, I'm telling you, ilifika point unaingianga job ukiingia red carpet uko na meeting, as in you're always on, you have issues to be resolved with your mini managers and your supervisors all the time. And this time I'm expecting baby number 2. So you can imagine the two emotions are not going in together. So
I can only like imagine if there's a lot of money to be made. It's like maybe mtu anaweza kuwa nakupush hivyo kwa anataka ushare tips. You know, like kwenye Kenya, like mimi nimekuweka hapo jo, niachie ka kitu jo. Kwa nini jo niachie ka kitu? So
it's interesting because, you know, I remember how I worked my way up. I'm like, and then it just falls down within a second. It just didn't hit me. I took 9 months to go back to clear. It was so heavy. Even the day I went to clear, I was like, this is so. And nilibeba watu. Nilibeba wenye nilikuwa nayo shift that day, the cashier who was on shift, that supervisor, the HR, I carried people because I'm like, this is so, like, explain to me how you're supposed to interpret this, you know. So when HR appeared, felt like, they've said you go, so they'll just, I remember just asked her, have they said I go, or have you decided as an HR I go, you know? So I think after 2018, nilikuwa zile, okay, now I had my baby number 2. I was around 5 months and I got sacked. And then stayed home. 2019 was the worst of all the years I've had. It was bad. It was bad. I was jobless. I have 2 kids. Only my husband is working. We have to, now we've come down from 2 salaries. To one. And then we had now this lifestyle. And then inashuka. Afu kozile za, me, I want to earn my money. I don't want to ask for money. And then sasa umerudi back to, aki hatuna. That thing used to suck. So my 2019 was just horrible. And then I think getting to 2020, COVID hit when I was in Trademark Hotel. So even the day, I remember that day they made the announcement, we had reported for shift, and I'm like, I'm just getting here. What is not happening? So after Trademark, nikasema, it's enough of the hotel industry. I was just tired of same story all the time. And then nothing changes. So I remember I opened a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
So I started with YouTube, and then kidogo I started baking. And then my friends are like, this particular friend of mine, she used to tell me, Manzesi, ufungwe tu ki restaurant because ile inafunguliwa na. I need money to, so you have to start from somewhere. But a lot of times I would rub it off. Niko nasema, there's a lot, Akimi, I'm telling you, anything to do with food, you need to be very slick with the accounts. Because you need to account for every little. You need to do cost control. I hated cost control as a unit because I did a unit called cost control where you taught how to, hii kuku itatoka pesa ngapi. You know, I didn't like it because it had maths, and me and maths were just maji na stima. So you have to be very good with cost controlling, you know. So I rubbed it off a lot of times, but I just maintained on YouTube and a little bit of cakes here and there. And then kidogo I started doing outside catering.
So YouTube channel kwenitwa?
My YouTube, it's still there. It's called Ursula's Essence.
Oh, Ursula's Essence.
Yes, it's called Ursula's Essence. So I started doing some little catering here and there. House parties, small graduations, because remember I don't have equipment. So small graduations, small showers. I love anything that goes along the line of surprises. So even if I get clients that I want to surprise, so I'm like, I'm down. We're doing this, you know. So I started even to pole pole. And then what happened that was in 2020, 2021, things just not working. How party clients. As in, you're waiting. At Awale, I've done for them good jobs. They were working in high-end places. And like, Mazeni pay referral. Nothing is coming. I'm like, nimechoka, wachikae. So I maintained YouTube and baking. Up until something happened around last year. Last year around between June to August, things just got tough. And to date, I'm so grateful for one person. She's called Miss Jane Michael. I get emotional when I talk about her. She's the CEO of Exotic PZ.
Yeah.
Exotic is based in off Mombasa Road.
Yeah.
They deal with nuts. So this lady, her daughter, she didn't even know. Okay, she knew me by word of mouth because whenever we had church sales, those remarks you go back to say, hey, manze kwa nani tumekula. So her daughters would keep telling her, hey, Ursula cooks, na. So she knew me through her daughter. Her daughter, we were in the same cell. I'm telling you, she came in big time. This is such an entrepreneur with a big company who has to nearly feel like she came from the up to the low too, like to pick me up and just raise me again. So she came to my house one time. I was feeling very suicidal on that particular day. I've never even told my mom about this. I was feeling very suicidal, and then I'm like, I think I wrote it on my status. And then the daughter saw, and then she saw, and she called me. She's like, "Can you delete that?" Right immediately. And then she drove to my place.
What had you written?
My suicidal thoughts. So, that happened. So when she came to my place, she tried to kind of motivate me that there are seasons in life. Everything doesn't have to go the way you want, but there are those seasons. So she picked me. Like, I remember she told me, you're my daughter right now. I'm taking you as my daughter. So that one day when you rise, you'll be like, Mama raised me, So, and then I think after like a month, she spoke to her HR because they used to do food supplies for trainings at their workplace. Something happened with their initial caterer. Either they didn't like, or I don't know what happened. But she was like, call this number. She didn't go there and, we just do things direct. I'm in this place, bring your CV. You'll get in, back door. She just went to, that's why I'm telling you, integrity matters. It's her company, yes, but she went to HR, told her about me, gave her my phone number. I took food for the first time, they sampled. And then they liked it. And then I started, so this is a thing I can do. So I started doing trainings, lunches in offices. When you're having small office corporates, I would bring breakfast, lunch. If you're having an evening thing, we can do high tea. That's how I started. So I say she raised me back. Brought me back to business because I was like, hey, I'm booming. Mama, you're booming. I'm following. I'm coming after you. And then I have a tendency of slacking a lot of times. And she just kept me on track. Alikozile are being accountable. Let me see your logo. Let me see your cake list. This is what you should do. This is what you... So for me, if I get someone who does that to me, I know there's a push behind me that keep going, keep doing it. When that stops, I stop with it. I'm like, manze, the pressure. Unaona ile simu tano unasema, gosh, I didn't do so and so. She told me to this, I didn't do it. And I'm like, I have to work on this. So she brought me back to business. And after that, we started getting events, parties. So what we deal with, like I was telling you earlier, I come with a package. So I'm a package of cakes, deco, food. Currently, I'm supplying water. What is that again? And event planning. I'm an event planner as well.
Okay.
So I come in this package. So this is what I first offer to my client. And then we see, what are you taking? Are you taking the entire package, or what can I offer? Because if I have this, I'm okay even if you take one. I'm just fine. So I started getting clients, hapa pale, and things seemed to start getting back on track. And then one point, my friend, my longtime schoolmate back in Kisumu, he's called Basil Ndege. Basil hooks me up with this lady from Royal Media. She's called Lindsay. I'm telling you, Lindsay, shout out to you, girl. You are amazing. So she hooked me up to Lindsay. He hooked me up to Lindsay. And then we did a shoot with Ramoge. And then thereafter, I did the one that Willis Rabori used to do in the morning. Yeah, and then I also did that. So I'm telling you, Lindsay brought me to limelight now.
Yeah.
Because she exposed me to TV. And I remember there's a recent client I had, very good client, who got me from Ramogi. The dad got me from Ramogi. I kept wondering, how did you people reach me? Because they live in America and their sisters. Like, how did you people get me? Like, I really wanted to know. So the day we got to their homestead, the dad is like, well, you see, when I saw you in Ramogi, and then I gave my daughter, told her, just call her. She comes from down here near our place. And I'm like, so that is how they got my number. Because I kept wondering, how did it happen? But that's where I say, if God wants you to have something, he'll give it to you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whose it was. Because even the way I got the contact, because I remember she contacted me on WhatsApp. She told me, oh, hi, are you Beryl? And you did our uncle's funeral. I'm like, Miss Jipika Kamazishi yote. Who is this Beryl? And then I called my mom, like, Mom, kuna baraka God anatuma na si yangu ni ya mtu, and I don't know why I'm scooping it. And then they kept the communication going. They kept asking, let's do the quotation. Let's do. So the moment I knew they're serious was when they made their down payment. I'm like, I'm having this job.
Beryl ajai kutafuta.
Hey, Beryl, wherever Beryl is, I'm so sorry.
And
but whoever she is.
The job you did was good enough.
It was good. It was superb. It was good, I just loved it. I love what I do. I am very passionate about what I do.
Alafu na hope Nini, tukimalizia, I hope anyone has heard like the way just hang in there. Sindio? I think that's the takeaway.
Oh yes, Manzi. Hang in there. God got you. I made their days. I'm telling you, I was suicidal. I don't talk about it because it's something I never want to remember. Being in that place. And you see, you watch stuff and you see people being told, you can start from very small. Please tell somebody how small is small. Tell them, mi nilianza na so, and this is what so ilizalisha. Jose was listening to Jimmy Wanjigi and he was saying, in the Wicked edition, something.
Dr.
He was saying how 1,000 bob, he started his trash business with 1,000 shillings or something. Kituka hiyo. Tell me that. And then tell me how I can start. You know, don't tell me nilianza na so. So I need things to work with. How did you get those things to work? Did you start with things from your home? Or as in just give the people the process of starting low than just telling them, oh, you can make it, start pole pole. Me, that one never got well to me.
Okay. So I hope Nini, watu wamekuwa inspired na pia watu wameona vile kupika inaweza kufikisha pahali, because I feel like we've in the modern world, as I said, women on the one side are looking down upon it, men pia on the other side we look at it as a female job. So now there are men who you might find who are good at cooking who will never be chefs. And you have women who are good at cooking who will never be chefs because the way we look down upon it. But and at the end of the day, I think another takeaway is self-employment most of the times is better than.
Oh yes, it is. It has its faults though.
It has. If you can go through the rough patch, of course, never quit a job to start something from scratch. That's risky. But on the other side, like if you have something you're passionate about, just hang in there and see if it works out. You can end up reaping the rewards.
Oh, yes.
So your YouTube channel still exists?
It exists. We're planning something. We're planning a way to come back bigger. It's called Ursula's Essence. So once it cooks the way we want it to cook and ready, we'll bake it out.
Okay. So this has been a Sunday Chef special. Ajua. Alafu I hope umesikia jo, MP wako ni mtiaji, baki umejua. But hiyo story yako ya parliament, I feel like I need to apply for a job there.
It depends. Like money. Criteria kupata job huko.
I know, corruption.
Crazy.
There has to be like Kenya, if there's money being made freely, there has to be so much dirty deals happening behind the scenes before you eventually get to such a level. So kama kawaida vile susema, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend. Sindio? Tukimalizia hii chef special tukisema ekonene.